Good evening, everybody. This is Fan Man Steve here once again. It is Thursday, May the 16th, 2024. This is my old 1950s Wizard box fan, and I'm sure that you all know this one. As you can see, that I have it back on its old stand now after getting it out of storage, and give you a better look at it. I bought this fan about 5 years ago off of eBay, and this fan has been through a lot, and this is bringing back a lot of memories because this sort of paints a picture or a flashback to to how it all started here on my channel. I had this fan right directly at my bedroom window the night that I first recorded the very first video of this thing, and that was about 5 years ago. So I have been using this regularly. The fan works really good. It's in decent shape now. Technological Heritage recently uploaded a video of one just like mine. His is the C&H Air Conditioning Company brand, and by the looks of his was in dang near mint condition. Far better condition than what this one was when I first picked it up. In fact, I had to do a full rebuild on this one. You remember how jacked up and how beat up this thing was in the beginning. Thing was very noisy. The motor on it was going out. I think that the motor on this failed. I think just only like 2 or 3 days after I used it, and the blades were out of balance and shook really badly, and it was in really bad shape. But this thing has undergone a tremendous transformation, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I absolutely just love this thing. Definitely has a lot of character. I don't know the full history of this fan, but I think this sat in this lady's barn for well over many years, and she had listed it. It was in late 2019 when I bought it. Actually, I think it was in October when it delivered, if I recall correctly. And this fan was not very well taken care of in its previous lifetime. And how I know is the motor was never serviced in its entire lifetime. I knew that the second that I took the motor apart the first time. It had never been oiled. Was never cared for properly. It suffered a good deal of abuse, and I think that's how it got into the lowly shape that it was in. And so I got a hold of it, and I fixed it up, rebuilt it, and it's working just fine now. I have had zero problems with it ever since. Anyway, let's have a closer look at it here. This is a stencil that I made for it. And there it is, the C&H Air Conditioning Fan Company, Atlanta, Georgia, which was technically the birthplace of these fans. And these are actually the original manufacturer of these fans, and they were sold out through a variety of different other companies, such as the Western Auto Company, and Dyna Air, Silver Air, to name a few. They made a variety of different other fans like this, and there are the window models, and I have the window box fan model with that you have all have seen, and a few others. I own about 5 of these, and they go through regular use. I have had no problems with any of them. These fans were very well built, and I remember watching Technological Heritage video. He was saying that these things were how they were just built. They were built like there's this part here, and then there's this part here, and then there's this part of the cabinet that is basically just how it just kind of goes around, and it's just everything is all attached, and the back brace is also riveted to the case. And another interesting thing about this too, you look at the top of the fan of how conjored it is. I'm not really didn't understand that at design, and just seeing these things as a kid, they were so odd looking to me, but they were really cool looking at the same time. This is a carrying handle that I put on it too, by the way. That was just an old handle that I salvaged off of an old rusted toolbox. This is the switch. This is a 2-speed. That, however, is not the original, and the original to this is long gone. This did not have the original switch to this when I bought it, and I know that there was modifications with that too, because all of these fans, at least that I had seen in the Wizard, the ones that Wizard made, had the rotary switches, and they have like a clear radio-like knob on them. The C&H Air Conditioning Company were the ones that had the toggle switches, to the best of my knowledge from what I've seen. And how I know that the switch to this was not the original is how the wiring was done. It was just all done with electrical tape, and they really didn't do a good job of that either. Everything was just all held together with tape, and nothing was threaded or soldered. But it was still really cool the way that it looked, though. But now I have all of the electrical issues taken care of. This is the power cord. This is not the original. Actually, I salvaged this off of an old mixer, and I just put it on here. It was some really good shape too, by the way. It's not frayed or cracked anywhere. I think the fan was originally like a grayish green color, and I have a few photos, and I think like one video of it when it was, before I painted it and all. And I painted this thing at least about 13 or 14 times. And this is probably the most original, the closest that I could come to the original color of this thing, and maybe it was like a lighter shaded green at one point, and the paint just completely faded out over time. But I still thought that it was a really cool color. Looking back now, I could have kept it as it was, but it probably wouldn't have mattered either way, because maybe either finding the original color to this thing was either rare, or those retro colors are no longer in production or existence, or that was just not it was the same thing, but like I said, it just faded out over time. I painted the guards green along with the rest of the fan, and I thought that looked pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn it around and have a look at the back here. There's the 2-speed Westinghouse motor. That, however, is not the original. This actually came out of another fan. The original stator to that motor is long gone. It burnt out not long after I got it. And I think that a lifetime of abuse and negligence is what I'm highly convinced of what led to the failure of this thing. Probably wasn't anything I could have done to have saved it nonetheless. Has the little pieces of the weights there on the blades. There's 2 there. There's 1 there. And the other two don't have the weights. You can see from where I've stuck a penny down in there and down on the other bottom part of the blade, from where I was having issues with it before. I did install feet on it at the time when I was using it on the floor, and you can see some of the scuffs there on the bottom. I'm probably going to have to touch that up again. I may take them off, or I might just leave them on there. Motor's a little dusty. May have to clean that out again. Oh yeah, one more thing, by the way. There's the adjustment wing nuts. They're on the stand. I just recently replaced those. The original were really stripped. Actually, here's one of them right here. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll plug this thing in. And also the purpose of this video is testing it with a kilowatt meter that I just recently acquired. Okay. This fan is rated for 115 volts and 4.0 amp. Eric told me in a recent comment that I commented on his video that he did, that I told him that these do not give the accurate reading, or they're fluctuating, or something's wrong with the fan. And he told me that the power just kind of fluctuates with the current or something like that. So I guess that is perfectly normal. Maybe I just need to do a little bit more research on this kind of thing. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and fire this up on the high speed. Okay, so now we're at 119 volts. And 2.73 amps. And we're at 192 watts. It's kind of jumping there a little bit. Okay, let's turn it down to the low. Okay, now it's gone down to 119.7 volts, 1.7 amps. $136 watts. Well, I guess that puts my worries to rest, because I know now that these fans are perfectly healthy. Just love how quiet these fans are too. These things are very quiet. Put out a good velocity of air. Awesome startup sounds too. Wasn't that long ago since I serviced this either. So the spin down time is very good. And as bad a shape as the bearings were on this thing about 5 years ago, it's a wonder that they're still going. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and more to come.